Welcome to my review of the first two episodes of WandaVision. The MCU is finally back, this time on the small screen, but nevertheless, we must talk about it. We find Wanda and Vision living their ideal suburban lives as they begin to suspect that everything is not as it seems. Now, before I crack on with this review, one quick disclaimer: we are going to talk freely about spoilers. I'm going to assume you've seen the show. We're not going to be dissecting everything about it, but I am going to speak freely. So please do watch the first two episodes now on Disney Plus before you watch this review. And if you're new here, welcome, my friends. Let's geek out about WandaVision and everything MCU. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're new here, please consider clicking the subscribe button because it helps me, it helps the channel, it is free, and I will give you a cookie. And also, I have merch on sale at TeePublic and Redbubble. The links are in the description. This show feels very trippy, and I feel like we've only barely scratched the surface. The first episode is quite simple. There are small hints here and there in the background, but mostly this episode commits to being just a 50s sitcom, and it does that so brilliantly well. It's really funny, it's really fun, it's wacky, it feels like the actors are having a ton of fun on set. It looks amazing. The laughs feel organic and earned. It's not a laugh track. They actually had an audience in the studio watching it. And even the conflict in this first episode is very much the conflict of a 50s TV show. There's this thing where they're in separate beds and there's a noise and Vision is afraid and so is Wanda, and they're arguing about what is actually happening and who should go check it out. There's this dinner that they have with Vision bringing his boss and his wife into dinner, and Wanda has to cook it, and there's this amazing sequence where she starts to cook everything at the same time, and the pans and everything is in the air, flying around, cooking itself. And Kathryn Hahn steps in to help Wanda as their neighbor, and she is suspicious right from the start. She just feels like she's got her hand on everything. She's aware of everything, and she starts to question Wanda. And look, we've all suspected she's playing Agatha Harkness. There's nothing to indicate that specifically, but it's a theory that gains a few seeds to reinforce itself. The weirdest thing to me in this first episode, however, is how meta it actually is, because the episode ends and there is actually a WandaVision 50s sitcom that somebody is watching. And in episode 2, which we're going to talk about right now, it even reinforces the idea that someone is trapping Wanda. Yes, she is making this happen, but at the command of someone, or someone is actually forcing her to do this. To what end? I don't know, but it's very, very suspicious. In the second episode, it's the 60s, so I'm guessing the third episode will be the 70s, because the end of this episode it goes in color. We'll get to that. And Wanda and Vision, they're going to do something for the neighborhood. They're going to play in a talent show, and Vision is going to be a magician. Wanda is going to be his assistant. And then they have to get acquainted with this posh lady of the neighborhood that commands and bosses everyone around, and Agnes, played by Kathryn Hahn, is making Wanda aware of this, and that's all really fun. It keeps the spirit. It feels like it was made in the era, just like in the first episode. What actually caught my ear was that voice that Wanda hears on the radio, that we listen to it again at the end of the episode.
Wanda. Wanda. Who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda. Wanda. What?
Wanda, who is doing this to you? Wanda, Wanda. It's very hard to make out whose voice that is, but it does sound like Chris Evans' Captain America. So we just had the news that Captain America is coming back somehow, some way, for something. He might just be here right now trying to save Wanda in some way. There's also this quick shot of a watch, and you can see Hydra in there. So I'm guessing if it is Agatha Harkness, she is working for Hydra. Or maybe, I don't know, Arnim Zola could be back. He'd be the type of guy to do this when I think about the comics. So it isn't entirely impossible, and I just love that all these theories are out there right now, but honestly, I have no idea. The ways this thing could go are extremely interesting and very, very hard to grab onto just one. And there's almost this horror sequence by the end of the episode where Wanda and Vision step out to the street where they hear a noise, and there's a man in a beekeeping suit, surrounded by bees, coming out of a manhole. And I honestly just couldn't make out his face. I don't recognize the actor. I don't know what this symbolizes so far. So I'm very curious to know what you guys think in the comments, because I didn't catch a reference to anything, a beekeeper or something. So I'm completely blind on this one. What I am interested in is that throughout the first episode and the second, there's a hint at the fact that Wanda can just think of something and then it happens. So they do this magic show for the children. Everyone in the neighborhood says it, for the children. And by the end of this episode, just like that, Wanda is pregnant as they think about the children. And in the next second, everything starts to become color. Vision gets color in his face, and then the house just starts going from black and white to color, which, by the way, as a visual effect, fantastic. Sorry for the people who had to rotoscope that, but kudos to them as well, because it looks sensational. And the episode ends with the camera zoning out of the TV that somebody is watching this 60s sitcom in, and we once again hear the voice of supposedly Chris Evans asking Wanda who is doing this to her. So thus far, WandaVision is fun, wacky, vibrant, not in a literal sense, but it is colorful as well. And I love that we already can sense the underlying layers of this. This is just the surface, my friends. We got so much to dissect, so start dissecting in the comments below. What did you think? Are you excited for what's to come? Let me know all of that in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and come back next week, because every week we will be doing reviews for WandaVision, and I cannot wait to start this weekly tradition with you all. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best. Don't forget to come back every Friday for WandaVision reviews. Later today, I will have my review up for The Mauritanian. And on Sunday, Origin Story comes back, as I will be interviewing Tessa Smith of Mama's Geeky. I hope to see you there. So till the next video, stay beautiful, stay geeky, but most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies and TV shows.